Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin walkthrough video. Last time we cleared No Man's Wharf and dealt with the Flexile Sentry, and we just barely got into the Lost Bastille's kinda second entrance. So we could kinda make a full loop. But I'm gonna go back to the first bonfire I got in this area, the Tower Apart, and this is where you flew in with the Eagle. Because this is the closest way to a boss fight. It's, kinda optional. I mean, I guess it's completely optional. But I usually do it because it unlocks a couple unique things that you really can't get any other way. And there just happens to be a sun glow. That's kind of surprising because that covenant you can join later. Like, well, I guess it's not too surprising because that's not all that far. Since the path splits, since you can kind of go 4 different ways in the very beginning, you could go that way and get that covenant pretty early. But for the sake of, like, if you were first playing this, I'm gonna go this way because I think this is kind of the official way to go, since both the most obvious beginning areas will lead you here, and I have no idea where that guy came from. Actually, you know what? He was probably walking down there on that path. Be real careful not to get him to hit these explosive barrels. Because if he hits them, he'll blow them up, and then I'll probably die. So when you run in here, you want to pretty much go straight ahead. Because if you don't, and I have no idea why I did a plunging attack and wasn't even close, but if you don't, then you're going to get ambushed. And ideally, you want to kill at least one guy. But since I have, like, no stamina, and a mace that consumes a lot of stamina, I can only swing, like, 2 or 3 times, and that's about as much as it takes to kill one of these guys. So I'm kind of in a bad spot. Luckily, you can kind of just walk around in circles, and these guys will follow you. Probably try to heal here shortly. That guy. Backstab. Now we're doing better. Another one? Yes. Alright. Not too bad. If you ever find yourself getting overwhelmed, just try and play their AI, because it's not fantastic. I mean, Dark Souls 3 definitely improved upon that. That's not to say the AI in this game is bad, because it's about as good as Dark Souls 1's. So, really, these signs are saying pointless, and, like that one was joking about killing yourself or something. It's not really quite pointless. I'm going to show you how or why. Because, you know, it kind of is, because you have to go all the way down there to open it from that side, because there's no way to open it from this side. But if you run this way, and you've opened that door, just try not to land on the door, but you can land right in there. You go like that, and you're in. So I guess, in theory, if you wanted to shortcut dealing with all those guys, you could run in and go this way. And go up this ladder here, and that'll take you to the boss fight. But I think I'm going to go the normal way, since I dealt with all those guys anyway. Really, it doesn't matter which way you go. There's not a unique item or anything. These guys are just kind of sitting in here. Sometimes you can get them to hit the barrels. Sometimes no. I'm just having bad luck with them today. Just out of stamina. Really need to invest in that. Hit him a couple times. And we should be pretty much in the clear. There's gonna be like 2 or 3 more guys, but not immediately. I'm gonna go ahead and break that and this. Both of those can explode if they get hit by the enemy, so I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that so that they don't blow up and kill me. These guys would normally ambush you if you tried to come up the ladder. And that guy was, I guess, going back to that. He usually does that for some reason. But this ladder is the one I climbed earlier. Yeah. Not that door. This door. Radiant Life Gem and a NPC Phantom that you can summon in. Actually pretty powerful, so not a bad one if you need some help. I probably don't need help for this fight, though. It's been a little while since I've dealt with them, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully not too bad. So first thing we want to do is stick to where you land, because in this one you're gonna fall into the arena. You want to kind of stick where you're at, like this. You want to stay up here with this guy, because even though there are 3 health bars and there are 3 guys, only you and him fight in the beginning, as long as you don't fall down. So that's one. For the second one, they'll walk over here, try to jump up, so you can usually get a downward lunging attack. And then just try and beat on them before the other one really decides to do it. I'm gonna get hit. Yep. Terrible, terrible time to heal. Really, trick to them is they like to copy each other a lot. Real trick is just to kind of focus on one, but really make sure where the other one's at. Sometimes it's even better just to keep them close together, that way you can actually see what they're doing. But be careful not to be greedy like me, because... oh, I'm not dead. Wow. Maybe I can heal. Probably not, though. They'll punish me as soon as I go to heal. Yep. Yep. I always misjudge the timing on healing with this game. If I go and play any other Dark Souls game, and then I come and play this one, I always misjudge the timing, because it is super slow in this game. And that's what your adaptability stat is for, is to help you get that up. Which I should probably invest more points into. So, when I get to that point, I'll probably do that. Along with stamina. So now I'm gonna go back here and try and deal with these guys as fast as possible. And I guess that happened. Really just want to get one. Hit the other one now. The backstab with the mace is actually really powerful. I had a friend when he and I were playing this. He did the mace. He did like a cleric with the mace. and in the end he was doing like 1300 damage or something with a backstab with a mace. I guess it's not really a backstab, but I'm gonna call it that. And that's a lot, considering that even like a dagger didn't do that much. I think I'm gonna avoid the ambush here and try to go down here. There's this guy, but we should be able to roll out of the way. Just gonna gun it. Alright, same plan. Stick on the platform here and deal with this guy. He shouldn't take too many hits. And I mentioned in a previous video that a lot of the bosses are weak to strike damage. So that's maces and clubs. Some swords, but typically maces and clubs. These guys are obviously weak to strike damage too. If the boss falls off like this, do not fall down there and try to engage them. Just try and wait. They'll jump back up like that, and then you can finish them off. And I somehow missed that. That's okay. Casually picking up souls. Can get real annoying because they'll like to attack opposite of each other, so when one is done attacking, the other one will start. It can get real annoying. But just kind of be patient, wait for an opening. I'm honestly not being that patient, and I'm getting punished for it. I hope I don't die again. That's why I roll every time too, because I thought maybe I could just strafe out of the way and he would miss, but no. Watch out for the shield toss. If they toss their shield like that, they won't get it again. It'll just kind of sit over there. All it really means is that, I mean, I guess they can't do the shield toss again. They don't really block, so it really doesn't help you much. I mean, it looks like they block, but I think you can do pretty much full damage when they're doing the block mode. Obviously, if you summon like 2 or 3 people to help you here, this game gets a little easier with this fight. Because now you got 3 people and you can have these 3 target a person individually. Even just the computer will help out a lot. She'll stand back and fire really high damage magic at these guys. She can actually end up finishing one off herself even though she doesn't block or anything. So if you're really struggling, if you're trying to do this solo, which I probably don't recommend your first time, but if you are, you can always try and summon her. And unless you don't want to, then just kind of stick to this. They got very wide swinging attacks. That's about it. They do damage, they swing wide, so kind of stay back. They do kind of fancy moves, but really they tend to miss if you're just rolling out the way. So now this shouldn't be too bad. Thinking about swinging there, but yeah, I wouldn't have finished him and then I would have gotten hit and you never, ever know. You think that you can get that last hit in and kill them, and sometimes, even if you have almost full health, you can get punished for it. So, first thing you want to do when you beat them is open up these illusory walls. There's not one there. There's one over here, too. Only 2 out of the 3 really have anything. And then the 4th one that's on a different wall is, has a ladder. This one over here. There's a ladder inside. You climb to go up a level. And there's one here. If people didn't put their stupid messages in the way, then we could all open up these illusory walls better. Hush, that's a sorcery. Good for sneaking up on enemies, but it's not that great. I mean, I just said it was good for sneaking, but it kind of isn't. It's, yeah, not that effective. They tend to hear you because all it does is silence like your legs, but your like chest piece and everything else will rattle and still alert you. And yes, there's another one there with a dude inside that'll explode. So just, you know, kill him quickly. There's another guy that's gonna explode. And, I don't know if you can actually hit him. I tried there, but, you know, I hit the wall instead. So the game kind of wasn't gonna give that to me. So down the ladder, there isn't much. I will go back to that later. I'm going to go this way first, because there's a key that we get to pick up. The key doesn't do a lot. Actually, this key does. Never mind. It's kind of crucial to getting the, I guess, final boss of this area, if you want to call it that. It's not, you don't need it, but it really helps if you do have it. Because the boss arena is dark, and that key will actually help you light it up. And they actually do something where if the arena is dark, you can't target the boss as effectively. So you light it up, that way you can have a farther lock-on range. And those we'll deal with later. There's an item down in this well. Try not to fall in. I'm gonna try and run and jump across this rooftop. Probably shouldn't have fallen down like that, so I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I got lucky. But if you don't make it, you don't have too many enemies to deal with. But I will show what it's like down there that way later. Just a shortcut because I like to get the item that's on the roof here. It's nothing real important. I'm just a collector. I go through and pretty much grab everything, even if it sucks to get and it's not good. There have been times where I have died 2 or 3 times getting life gems, and I know they're life gems, but I'll just go and pick them up because it's a shiny, twinkling, glowy thing in the distance, and I need that. Alright, let's go through here. Don't break that guy out of his, I guess, chamber thing. I guess he's actually gonna blow himself up. That's okay. There's another guy over here. He shouldn't really bother you. I guess I can't hit him right now. There we go. And in all of these little ones in the center is another one. But he won't get free unless you free him, so don't free him. Kill these guys because they like to ambush you. Another dude in there. Again, he won't get free unless you free him. These guys up here do not attack. So do not attack them. And I do not have a Fragrant Branch, so I can't unlock him yet. It's another guy you free, and he's important for making boss weapons. So when I get a Fragrant Branch, I will definitely free him up. Plus, he's also got a bonfire right there, so it's really, you know, kind of nice to have. There's really not one far from here, but he's a shopkeeper, does boss weapons, and I will show you that in a little bit. So actually now, in the last video when I pointed up, we're going to go through that fog, that's kind of where we are. And I'll see if I can show you where we were. But right after we beat the Flexile Sentry, and we were going back to the blacksmith, there's the gargoyles again. Yes, those are gargoyles. Let's see if I can see it here. Oh, got a guy. Royal Greatsword. That's actually not a bad weapon. It does a little bit of bleed. Bleed isn't good in this game, but it's also just not a bad greatsword. So let's see. If I stand up here, that cave over there. When we beat the Flexile Sentry, we took the boat across. We went up an elevator, up some stairs. There was a bonfire, and I pointed up this way. Said we would go through that fog. That's what we did. So that's where we're at now, so we kind of just made a giant loop. So I'm going to buy my Fragrant Branch that I'm missing. I don't think you actually have to buy this one, ever. I'll also buy that Pharaoh's Lockstone. I don't think you ever have to buy that Fragrant Branch, because the game should give you enough, but I want to unlock the dude now, and I have the souls for it, so I'm going to do it. Even though it will take away from my endurance stat here, which I'm just going to throw everything into, because I'm tired of only being able to swing 3 times. So I'm going to go ahead and the Servant's Quarters here is right after the Ruined Sentinel. I'm going to go to Macduff's first, though, because I'm going to show you kind of the other way if you didn't want to battle the Ruined Sentinels, or if you went through only Hades Tower of Flame and didn't go through Forest of Fallen Giants. So what you would do is you'd be coming around this way instead. Stupid mace. It's a really powerful weapon, I just don't like the attack. The swing up and swing down vertical attack, it can miss a lot. Kind of nice for narrow passageways, but it misses. We're gonna go back here first, though, before I really show the next area. Because in here is an Estus Flask Shard. So you don't want to miss this, because this could be the difference between you having the maximum amount of flasks or not. Kill this guy really quick, because there's a pursuer. I guess he's doing the beam attack this time. Really wasn't planning on that, but whatever. Let's work with it here. This pursuer in particular might be a little bit more difficult because you're gonna have a crossbow guy fighting, or maybe even 2. You can try and kill them if you want, without really getting the pursuer to attack you, maybe, or maybe, I don't know. It'd be kind of tricky, but you could probably do it. I think it's easier just to focus on him if you are planning on battling him. Focus on him, just keep moving. Most of the bolts should miss you. Like that. Titanite here, 6,600 souls. I think that's because I'm wearing the Silver Serpent ring, so you'll probably only get the 6,000. Doesn't make a huge difference. And we'll get this item. So if you were coming from Hades Tower of Flame, you'd go down the ladder and you'd break this open. Swing and kill that guy. Swing and kill that guy. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking about it now. This door requires the antiquated key. Which means that you would have to go from the blacksmith's bonfire. You'd have to go up to where we first met Lucatiel. I met her in a different video after completing Forest of the Fallen Giants. So, if you really need to see where she's at, I guess you can go back to that video. There is a way to get in there from this side without having to, you know, do the Forest of Fallen Giants. Next to her is a chest that has the key in it, which will let you go this way. So I guess it is a roundabout way. I don't think I'm going to run back there, though, because that's going to waste some time. But that's where that's at. So if you skipped it, you'd have to run from the blacksmith's bonfire up the stairs to the tower, and there's a side ladder that you could go in and go up and then through a window and fall down. So anyway, this elevator and killing those guys gives you the Wanderer set. If you started as the Dual Swordsman class, you have this. This was your starting gear. So I'm gonna stick with my armor. The Wanderer set isn't too bad. It's actually a pretty good armor set, really, when upgraded. It's lightweight and it seems pretty resistant to everything. But I kind of like the heavy armor right now since I don't have a gigantic weapon. I can wear the heavy armor. Well, that really wasn't planned, but that's okay. This one is going to be planned. I don't think that killed him, no. I was hoping it would kill that guy so that I won't have to deal with him. Now, if you don't have fire bombs to blow up these explosive barrels, don't worry. You do want to blow them up because it puts a hole in the wall, and yes, you can open this door and not have to go up the ladder way like I did, but the ladder way will take out an archer, so that's fine. Grab that item. You want to blow up the barrels up here because back in here you'll get the Archdrake robes and Archdrake shield, which you get the robes as a cleric. These are the cleric's starting robes. Look like that. And the shield is actually new, and I don't think you can get it anywhere else. So if you really want to get it, it's in here. If I remember, it's not great. I guess it's got better physical defense, but in terms of elemental, it's really not good. And our Watch Dragon Parma gives us extra item discovery, so I'm going to use that for now. So if you came from Lost Bastille, or I mean, not Lost Bastille, No Man's Wharf, and Hades Tower of Flame, that area, you'd go in this way, up that ladder, killing those skeleton prisoner guys. And you'd have to kill this thief. And he gave us shadow gauntlets. So his gauntlets that he's wearing now, I guess I could be wearing. Honestly, I kind of like the shadow set. That's the shadow set for this game. So I kind of like it. You can farm for it. It's very lightweight. It's kind of cool for a thief class. But you get a bone staff, parrying dagger, and this is the twin blade in this room. So let's make the room light up a little bit. if you put a Pharaoh's Lockstone in here, you don't need to put one in here in Scholar of the First Sin. In the base game, you did to open up the shortcut past the Ruined Sentinels, but in this game, you don't. I'm gonna do it. I have it. And you get a soul vessel in here, so you can respec your character again if you want. But if you came from No Man's Wharf, I guess there's a chest in here I forgot about. You would go in this doorway. And you know what? Since I have the light here, I'm gonna look at my weapons here. Find the twin blade, bone staff, and the parrying dagger. So that's the bone staff. It has an A scaling in dark, D in intelligence, so it's definitely a hexer's staff. If you're a hexing character, you're using that dark magic from talking to Felkin the Outcast, who we talked to. He sits in that chair in that dark foresty area. That's a good staff for you. The parrying dagger is pretty much exactly what it says. It's a dagger meant for parrying. Really doesn't do a lot of damage by itself, but it does have good parry frames, so if you're trying to parry, maybe learning to parry, you could try that. I recommend small shields, though. And the twin blade is over here. Twin blade's actually a really cool weapon. It's not in any other Souls game. I don't know if Bloodborne has anything equivalent to this, but it's actually a pretty cool weapon. Think, you know, double-bladed lightsaber from Star Wars. It's got kind of a cool moveset too, doing that stuff. It looks like it slowed down there. I don't have the dexterity to use it properly, so the attacks are kind of slow for me. But it's a pretty good weapon. It's just that the durability on it is pretty low, and I think you do like double durability damage because it's a twin blade, so you're hitting like twice per attack. So you really need something to help with that durability. But you would want to come up here. We didn't actually go in this room before, but you'll see where we're at in a second. There is an item down here. Gotta land kind of on this little ledge. Bonfire aesthetic. So that actually we could use if we want to make an area into New Game Plus. We could redo a boss and pick up all the lootable items from wooden chests and bodies that are found in the area. But it makes the area New Game Plus, so it's harder. So it's as if you had beaten the game and come back to that area. I didn't see his chains when I was in that elevator, but we open this door. Here's this guy. If we turn around, there's this guy. We go up the stairs into this room where these guys don't attack, and here's that sorcerer guy. Since I have the fragrant branch, I'm gonna free him.
I must thank you, young. I am strayed, a wandering sorcerer of sorts. I've been a guest for a very long time. Very cursed one. Weak you may be.
So, in terms of what he sells these rings. The agape ring is used to, it's really meant for more matchmaking. I'm not really going to worry about that right now. I'll probably buy it and explain it sometime, but not now. That's a really long conversation. So, you can make this sorcery from the Ruined Sentinels that we beat earlier. And you can make all these weapons from bosses that we've beaten so far. The curved, or the warped sword, and the arced sword, and the spiked club come from the ruins, or not the ruin sentinel, the flexile sentry. The only difference is that the warped sword is a scimitar, the arced sword is a two-handed curved sword. You can make all these. This is the Dragon Rider, so if you battled him through Hades Tower of Flame, you can make some of that stuff. Pursuer's Great Shield, you'd have to go through Forest of Fallen Giants for. Dragon Rider, Great Shield. You can make a Dragon Rider bow, halberd, twin blade, and Great Shield. So there are a lot of things you can make with that soul. So those are the items there. I'm not going to trade anything in yet. There's really no reason not to. I guess I just don't feel like it. Another illusory wall. This area is just full of them. And there's another one there. And remember to open those, you just press A when you walk up. And yet another pursuer. This time we don't have anybody shooting at us, so this should just be the standard procedure for one of these optional pursuer fights. So really, if you're doing one of these and you're feeling kind of ballsy, try parrying maybe, if you want. That's how you... It's kind of how I learned how to parry, is I just kind of went to one of these optional areas that was convenient and tried to battle him. I think I did it at the end of the game too, that way if I got hit I didn't almost die. Yeah, you can just kind of sit here, learn his attacks, dodge for a little bit. It's a good time to practice. That when you actually have to do the boss fight in a different character or another game cycle, you know what you're doing. So we want to go this way. And I really love this ring over here, so we're going to take care of this guy first. I always wear this ring. The Bracing Knuckle Ring slows equipment degradation. So my mace and my shield and my armor and everything is not going to get damaged as quickly. And in this game, that's a huge, huge thing. Because it basically means that I get to use my mace for almost double as long as I would normally by putting this thing on. Or at least that's what it feels like. It's probably not double, probably like a quarter more. But it feels like a lot more. I always wear that ring. Even in, you know, the end of the game. When I would co-op with people, they'd always say, "Are you wearing this ring? Are you wearing this ring?" or whatever. And I would always say, "No, I'm wearing the Bracing Knuckle Ring." And they'd always ask, "Why?" And it's just a convenience thing. You don't really have to worry about repairing your weapon now. I'm going to take those out. Just because I'm realizing it's taking forever to cycle through my flasks and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know why I'm really talking to him right now. I think I'm gonna go back to Majula. So that's really a full circle so far. So since this video is running long, I'm gonna turn in this shard here. But this video is kind of running long here, so I'm gonna split it right now and immediately pick up with the next video with no introduction or anything. So I'll level up, put some points into adaptability. And yeah, this will be a nice stopping point for now. We've pretty much explored the entire Bastille, so Now it's just a matter of battling things. Actually, there's one more area, and I'll do that in a second. So, see you in the next video.